Flames, fallen angels, inverted crosses. I mean, rock and metal music has always had this incredibly powerful and, let's be honest, often controversial visual language, right? It's all designed to provoke, to feel dangerous. But what does it all actually mean? So, when you see these symbols everywhere, on album covers, t-shirts, these huge stage shows, what are you really looking at? Is it some kind of statement of faith, a clever marketing gimmick, or is it something else entirely? To really get it, we've got to decode the language they're speaking. Okay, so first up, a shocking symbol's power. And here's the thing, the reason these symbols hit so hard is that they aren't new, not at all. They tap into this deep, shared cultural, even religious history that, let's face it, we all kind of recognize, whether we're religious or not. And that makes them these incredibly powerful shortcuts. Think about it. Just one word, like hell, or a simple image of a cross. It instantly brings up all these huge ideas of morality, rebellion, conflict. For an industry that's literally built on grabbing your attention, that kind of emotional shorthand, it's pure gold. All right, let's dig into how they actually decode hell and sin, because this is where things get really interesting. We start to see this fundamental shift. The words themselves might be the same, but stick them in a rock context and their meanings get totally transformed. And this shift becomes crystal clear when you look at a word like sin. In theology, okay, it's a moral transgression against divine law. Pretty straightforward. But in the world of rock and roll, it gets recoded. Now it means freedom, rebellion, pleasure, basically a total rejection of conformity. All that dogma gets stripped away and you're just left with the raw intensity. There's actually a name for this whole process. It's called semantic recoding. And honestly, this is the key to understanding this entire language. It's how a word like hell can stop meaning, eternal damnation, and instead become a metaphor for the brutal stress of a tour or a toxic relationship or just the absolute maximum energy of a live show. So, this transformation, it doesn't just stop at words and symbols. Nope. It actually extends to the performance itself. It's like if the words are being recoded, then the stage itself often starts to borrow its form from the church. Have you ever been to a concert that felt almost, like a religious ceremony? Well, that is absolutely not an accident. It's often because of something called ritual aesthetics. The goal here isn't worship. It's about using the forms of ritual, the look and feel of it, to elevate the show, to separate it from everyday life, and to create this incredibly powerful shared experience. And there's a whole toolkit of specific techniques they use to do this. You've got symmetrical stage designs that create this sense of order and importance, kind of like an altar. Then there's the dramatic lighting to create awe. And think about it. When thousands of people all raise their hands in the exact same gesture, that builds a powerful, visible community, even if it's just for one night. But of course, none of this imagery just popped up in a vacuum, right? Society's reaction to it, especially all that moral panic, was this huge force that really helped locking the meaning of these symbols as being rebellious and dangerous. And if you look back, you can see this fascinating feedback loop that developed over time. It starts way back with the old myths about blues musicians making deals with the devil. That kind of primes the pump. Fast forward to the 1980s, and you get the full-blown satanic panic, political hearings, all this stuff that tried to censor the music, but ironically just ended up making it seem even more forbidden and way more cool. And this is just a classic case of what sociologists call stigma reversal. The very labels that were meant to condemn the music, evil, satanic, dangerous, were picked up and embraced by the bands and the fans. It became the ultimate badge of honor, proof of their authenticity and their opposition to the mainstream. Basically, the accusation became the brand. Okay, so now we're at the symbol as a brand. And today, that whole dynamic we just talked about, it gets supercharged by a completely new force, the relentless logic of our modern attention economy. Just think about it from a modern business angle. These controversial symbols are incredibly efficient. They make for simple, powerful logos that look awesome on a t-shirt. Their stark visuals are literally perfect for stopping your scroll on Instagram or TikTok. And boom, they instantly signal a band's whole identity. So, when you get right down to it, a single symbol is a multitasking powerhouse. It's not just one thing. It's like it's wearing 4 hats at once. It's an artistic choice, it's a commercial logo, it's a signal that you belong to a scene, and it's a tool for social provocation. And yeah, all 4 can be happening at the exact same time. Okay, so how do we read the signs? With all this complexity, how are we even supposed to make sense of it all? Well, the absolute key, the most important thing, is to just throw generalizations out the window and really look at the specifics. Just as an example, think about how one single symbol can completely change its meaning across different genres. For a shock rocker, right, a cross is just a theatrical prop meant to provoke. For some black metal bands, it's a serious ideological weapon. But then you have Christian metal bands who take that same heavy aesthetic and reappropriate it to express their faith. The look might be kind of similar, but the goals, they're polar opposites. And that really brings us to the core takeaway here. If you remember one thing from all this, it should be this: context is everything. It's not just what the symbol is, it's how it's being used. You can't just see a symbol and assume you know what it means. You have to ask, who's using it, what genre are they in, and who are they trying to reach? So, with that in mind, here's a simple 3-step analysis kit for you. The next time you see this kind of imagery, instead of just having that knee-jerk reaction, try asking these 3 questions. First, what's its origin? Its history. Second, what's its function right now? Is it trying to provoke, or to brand something, or to unify a group? And third, what's the context? The genre, the audience, the platform it's on. And all of this leaves us with one final big question to chew on. When a sacred symbol becomes a popular brand, when it goes from a holy text to a t-shirt logo, has it lost its original meaning? Or has it just gained a completely new one? It really makes you wonder what happens to meaning itself in our media-saturated world, doesn't it?